Hey there, YouTube. So I've been suspended by Instagram. If you're wondering what happened, if you follow me over there, the reason given to me, your account or activity on it doesn't follow our community guidelines on account integrity and authenticity. So it looks like I've been flagged down, like as spam or something like that. Obviously I'm not spamming or anything on there. It's probably related to the recent dust-ups that I've gotten into. Tony Cowden, among other people. So let's just go over some of the interesting stuff that's been happening. So we have a discussion on Instagram with stock placement. Basically, connection to the rifle is super important, as far as I'm concerned, if you want to shoot fast and accurate. Other guys think not so much. It's pretty clear, like Tony Cowden specifically is pretty upset about it. He put out a video saying, like, if you work out, you get buffer. He's kind of fucking with me and Lucas, I think. You work out, you get bigger, and you have better control over the gun. That's pretty dumb. If you look at Tony, he's a pretty big guy, and his control is shit, and his shooting is shit. So it's like, obviously, he's not getting better at shooting in the gym. It's an idiotic theory. But there's a lot of these dudes in this circle that are kind of weird. Like, there's another guy named Kawa, who I interacted with a little bit, and he told me that he didn't think I had anything to add to a discussion with him. I was like, okay. And he put out a post, pretty long form post, about why he doesn't care how well guys can shoot. He cares about, all these other skill sets. And honestly, fair enough. Okay, doesn't care. But then he's in the comments kind of like attaboying this stuff from these other guys. It's very strange. Like, well, maybe you do care about shooting, and you were just lying when you said you didn't care. That seems more like what it is. Another interesting account, Orion Training Group. I don't know who I'm getting in trouble with, but Orion Training Group is another one. He sent me a long voice message today. I've never interacted with this guy. I just reposted a comment that he made in public, and he sent me a long voice message about it. I'll play it for you here. It's very interesting. Very interesting. And it's kind of germane to what I'm going to talk about.
I'll put it to you this way, man. I legitimately had no idea who you or Matt, and I don't know the other two guys were, until someone weeks back sent me something that y'all had started some drama about, and I didn't even look into it at all. Because I'm not here to argue with dudes on the internet. I'm not here to be part of any sort of drama. But I know we keep getting name dropped in a negative way. And I feel like the way that men handle things would be, hey man, I saw you did X, Y, Z. I don't agree with it. Can you explain to me why? One-on-one conversation. That's typically what I do if I see an instructor doing something and I don't like it or don't understand it. I go offline and say, hey bro, tell me about this technique I don't understand, or I don't know what it is, or what's your reason for doing it.
There's a part two. Here it comes.
But the Redneck Podcast, or whatever y'all call it, which appears to me to be a bunch of dudes kind of trying to create a cult of public opinion around themselves, in which, like, oh, you didn't show up on our podcast, you must be a pussy, or whatever kind of vibe y'all are going for. It doesn't seem to be a productive thing to me. It seems to be something that you guys are doing out of a desire to create a whirlwind around yourselves as you create your new shooting league with Lucas, and or sell products, or whatever y'all's plan is. You're associating with him for his exposure. He's associating with you guys to get legitimacy. And I get it. It's business, 100%. Like I said, I don't know you from Adam. You've never even spoken to me until you tagged me in some petty stuff. So it shows me a lack of professionalism and not really trying to improve the community, but just putting yourselves on a pedestal. It's just really weird to me.
Right. So the thing I tagged him in, he posted publicly, and he was talking about us. So it was, I don't know. Weirdos. So that's an interesting message, and there's a lot to be said about it. So as far as the Redneck Podcast, or calling people out, this call-outs that we've been doing, if there's some guy doing something like shooting-wise that's fucked up, there's no reason to call him out publicly. As far as professional instructors putting stuff on the internet, call them out publicly. Like, if you look at me, I have full class videos on YouTube. I have books published. I do podcasts. I do videos. I put the stuff out there. If you have a problem with it, you say whatever you want. Have at it. And I'll engage with those criticisms, not an issue. I answer questions about what I'm doing all day long. A lot of guys that teach stuff they go to court to answer questions about what they're teaching. Being called out in public should not concern like these big dick professional shooting instructors. It's a big tell when it does concern them. It's showing like, oh, well, there's a real weakness there. Like, what, you can't answer for what you're doing or what you're teaching or what you're explaining? Like, whatever, dude. So that's my opinion on that. As far as the business stuff, like, hey, we're doing this to create drama so we can like sell stuff, can create a shooting league. Like, if I'm involved in creating a shooting league, it's just going to suck time and attention away from other stuff I'm doing. That's all, like, because there's only so much time in the day. Speaking for myself, I'm about as busy as I can be. I do like, I think this is the class I'm doing now is like 50 for the year, 60th for the year. Do a lot of classes. Lucas and Matt, they're busier than I am. They really are. We don't have time. It's not about making more money. Like, we're busy. We're actually doing this. It's not like Tony Cowden where he creates an image of being like a shooting instructor when there's not a business that functions there. Like, he's not really doing that. He's just positioned himself like that on the internet. He's not doing serious instruction or traveling around or really doing it. It's very low level what him and guys like him are actually doing, which is another reason that they get really sensitive about this stuff. What really gets Matt, myself, Lucas, Pannone, some of the other guys like Chris Palmer, I think this is about challenging paradigms. Like, that's the class I'm doing right now. I'm at TTPOA, the Texas Tactical Police Officers Association, challenging some kind of red shirt shooting paradigms, like old school stuff with challenging it with new ideas. That's what we're about doing, and it's fun. And it's kind of fun watching a lot of these guys. Honestly, these people are pretty weak. It's kind of fun watching them freak out because they don't really know what they're doing. They can't really answer for stuff they're doing. And it's funny to watch them get upset. It's funny for me anyway. And I like it when they're like, hey, you're unprofessional. It's like, yeah, fuck you. I don't have a boss. Like, go complain. Are you going to go complain to HR about me? Like, you can't. Like, I don't care about acting what you consider to be professional. I just get on here and let it rip, man. Because it's entertainment for me. Like, I actually have a shooting instruction career. Like, I actually do this stuff. So, like, I'm not concerned about creating an image of it because I'm already doing it. Like, whatever. Anyway, in the future, it looks like Instagram will be coming back. It's a 30-day suspension I got. I think I'll be back on there eventually. There will be a proper podcast on podcast services and here on YouTube. I think it's going to fire up this month in October. PSTG training group getting a slew of new stuff this month, October. A lot of new material is going to be going in there. The new book, Adaptive Rifle, it's coming soon, targeting an October 31 release, and I think we're going to hit that. It's going to challenge a lot of paradigms. It's going to be interesting. I think even guys hate it. I don't think they're going to hate it. But even if you hate me, you might read the book and find some interesting stuff and try some things. It's going to challenge paradigms. We're shaking things up, and I'm really enjoying it. As far as a new league to challenge USPSA, like I said in my letter to the board when I emailed the president my appeal, I was like, hey, one of the reasons you shouldn't punt me is if you're going to be creating the circumstances for a new league. Yeah, and there probably will be one in the next couple years. So like I said, paradigms are getting challenged. Good things are happening. The guys freaking out about this stuff, honestly, like, fuck them. It doesn't bother me. It's actually a little bit entertaining. That's all I have for you. Questions, comments, put them below.